Hey there, I'm Catherine. I'm 25, still living at home, and my life feels like it's on an endless loop. My sister Melissa watches over me like I'm fragile, and my parents, they treat me like I'm forever 5. Catherine, honey, did you take your meds? Mom's voice floats up the stairs for what feels like the millionth time today. Yes, Mom, I call back, rolling my eyes. My mind drifts to when Melissa and I were kids, inseparable, always giggling and sharing secrets. But somewhere along the way, things changed. Melissa became the golden child, and me, I became the family project. Time for your checkup, sis, Melissa says, popping her head into my room. She's always here, always watching. Sometimes I wonder if she has a life outside of monitoring mine. Do we have to go today? I groan, but it's no use. Before I know it, we're sitting in Dr. Sanders' office, and he's frowning at me like I'm a puzzle he can't solve. How are you feeling, Catherine? He asks, concern etched into his face. Fine, I mutter. It doesn't matter what I say, he always finds something to worry about. Later, I'm staring out my bedroom window, watching the world go by. People my age are out there living, working, gating. And me? I'm stuck in this gilded cage, dreaming of a life that feels out of reach. Hey, new neighbor alert. Melissa's voice snaps me back to reality. I look out the window and see a guy around my age unloading boxes from a moving truck. Why don't you go say hi? Mom suggests, and I almost fall over in shock. Is she actually encouraging me to interact with someone? Heart pounding, I step outside. The guy looks up and flashes a friendly smile. Hi there, I'm Alex. Just moved in. I'm Catherine. I managed to say, surprised at how easy it feels to talk to him. Nice to meet you, Catherine. So any good coffee shops around here? I'm dying for a decent latte. For a second, I'm at a loss. I don't know much about the neighborhood I've lived in my whole life. But instead of retreating, something sparks inside me. You know what? I have no idea, but I'd love to find out. Maybe we could explore together sometime. Alex's face lights up. That'd be awesome. How about this weekend? As I walk back inside, my mind buzzes with possibilities. For the first time in forever, I feel a flicker of hope. Maybe, just maybe, there's more to life than doctor visits and concerned glances. Little did I know, that simple conversation was about to change everything. But that's a story for another day. Stick around, because trust me, things are about to get really interesting. I've been feeling better lately, kind of weird, considering I'm supposed to be this delicate, fragile thing. One night, I sneak onto my laptop and start Googling my symptoms. What I find doesn't add up. Hey, Catherine, what are you doing? Melissa's voice startles me. I slam the laptop shut. Nothing. Just checking emails. She narrows her eyes but doesn't push. As she leaves, I overhear her on the phone with Mom. I don't care if the bills are piling up. Catherine needs that new treatment. Figure it out. My stomach turns. Are they struggling because of me? Later, I'm chatting with Alex over the fence. You should join our book club, he suggests. We're reading To Kill a Mockingbird next week. My heart races at the thought. I don't know if I can. Come on, live a little. It's just down the street at the library. Against my better judgment, I agree. The night of the book club feels like I'm breaking out of prison. But just as I'm about to leave, Melissa blocks my path. And where do you think you're going? Book club. Mom said I could go. Her face tightens. Fine, but be back in an hour. And take your meds before you leave. At the library, I'm nervous at first, but soon I'm lost in the discussion. It feels so normal, so freeing. When I get home, Melissa is pacing. Where have you been? It's been 2 hours. Sorry we lost track of time. It was fun though. Melissa mutters something about irresponsibility and setbacks. But I don't care. For once, I tasted freedom. But I'm too happy to care. The next day, we have an appointment with a new doctor, Dr. Martinez. She frowns as she reviews my charts. This doesn't make sense, she mumbles. Catherine, have you ever been tested for? Melissa interrupts, her voice firm. Dr. Martinez, perhaps we should discuss this privately. As they step out of the room, I notice my pill organizer sitting on the counter. Curiosity gets the better of me, and I open it up. Some pills look familiar, but others I don't recognize. I Google the markings and nearly drop my phone. They're just vitamins, and some are even sugar pills. What's going on? I whisper to myself, my heart pounding. Just then, Melissa and Dr. Martinez return. Melissa's face is flushed, and she's gripping her purse so tightly her knuckles are white. "We won't be coming back here," Melissa announces, her voice sharp. "Dr. Martinez clearly isn't familiar enough with your case." Dr. Martinez looks like she wants to say something, but before she can, Melissa practically drags me out of the office. On the drive home, my mind is racing. The inconsistent symptoms, the financial struggles, the fake pills, something isn't right. I'm starting to think that my supposed fragile health might be the biggest lie of all. "You okay, sis?" Melissa asks, glancing at me as she grips the steering wheel. "You look a little pale. Maybe we should cancel your plans with Alex this weekend." For the first time, I hear the control in her voice. And for the first time, I push back. "No, I'm fine, and I'm going." Melissa's jaw clenches, but she doesn't argue. As we pull into the driveway, I make a silent bow to myself. I'm going to figure out what's really going on, no matter what it takes. I can't take it anymore. I have to tell someone. Later, Alex and I are at the park, and the words tumble out before I can stop them. "I think my sister's been lying about my health for years." Alex's eyes widen. "That's heavy. What makes you think that?" I spill everything. The fake pills, the inconsistent symptoms, Dr. Martinez's confusion. Alex listens, then says, "Let's dig deeper. My cousin's great with computers. Maybe he can help us look into Dr. Sanders." A week later, Alex shows me what they found. Dr. Sanders isn't just a family doctor, Alex says grimly. He was Melissa's professor in med school. My blood runs cold. That can't be a coincidence. "There's more," Alex continues. "He lost his license to practice as a GP years ago. He shouldn't be treating you at all." That night, I pretend to be asleep when I hear Melissa on the phone. "Dr. Sanders, we have a problem. That new doctor was asking too many questions." "No, I handled it, but we need to be careful." "Yes, I'll make sure Catherine stays isolated. We can't risk her finding out." My hands shake as I stop the recording. It's all true, my own sister. The next day, I sneak into Melissa's room and find a hidden folder, bank statements, forged prescriptions, and worst of all, a journal detailing her plans to keep me dependent. "Oh my God," I whisper, the full extent of her betrayal sinking in. I take photos of everything and rush to Dr. Martinez's office. "I knew something was off," she says, examining the evidence. "This is serious, Catherine. We need to report this." I'm scared, I admit. Melissa's all I've ever known. Dr. Martinez squeezes my hand. "You're stronger than you think, and you're not alone." Later, Alex introduces me to his sister, Rachel. "I'm a lawyer," she explains. "What Melissa's done is highly illegal. We can build a solid case, but you need to be prepared for the fallout." I nod, determination replacing fear. I'm ready. That evening, my parents return from their trip. My hands are sweating as I approach them. "Mom, Dad, we need to talk. It's about Melissa." Dad frowns. "What about her?" I take a deep breath. "She's been lying to us. About everything." I lay out the evidence, the recordings, the documents, Dr. Martinez's statement. Mom starts crying, and Dad's face turns ashen. "How could she do this?" Mom sobs. "I don't know," I say, my own tears falling. But it stops now. Just then, the front door opens. Melissa walks in, freezing when she sees us all gathered. "What's going on?" she asks, her eyes darting between us. Dad stands up, his voice shaking. "Melissa, we need to talk." As the truth spills out, I watch my sister's carefully constructed web of lies crumble. For the first time in my life, I feel truly free. As Melissa breaks down, begging for forgiveness, I realize this is just the beginning. The road ahead will be tough, but for once, I'm not afraid. I'm ready to live my life, my real life, no matter what comes next. The living room feels like a courtroom as I lay out the evidence. Mom is crying, Dad is pacing, and Melissa is desperately trying to explain it all away. "You don't understand," Melissa pleads. "I was protecting her." Dad slants his hand on the table. "By lying? By stealing from us?" Melissa turns to me, her eyes wide, filled with desperation. "Catherine, you know I love you. Everything I did was for your own good." I shake my head. "No, Melissa. It was for you, always for you." Next, we confront Dr. Sanders. He crumbles faster than a sandcastle at high tide. "It was supposed to be temporary," he mumbles. "Melissa promised funding for my research if I helped." I never meant for it to go this far. Mom looks at me, her face a mix of guilt and determination. What do you want to do, sweetheart? For the first time in my life, I feel truly in control. I want to live my life, my real life. Rachel, Alex's lawyer sister, helps us build a rock-solid case. As we go through the process, I feel stronger every day. You're doing great, Alex tells me one afternoon. How about we celebrate with some coffee? I know a great little place downtown. I smile, realizing I'm no longer afraid to explore the world. Sounds perfect. Moving day arrives faster than I expected. As I pack up my room, memories flood back, both good and bad. Need any help? Dad asks from the doorway. I nod, fighting back tears. I'm sorry for all of this, Dad. He pulls me into a hug. No, sweetheart. We're sorry. We should have seen what was happening. But we're going to make it right. 6 months later, I'm sipping coffee at my favorite cafe, scrolling through my phone, when a news alert catches my eye. Melissa's been arrested, not for what she did to me, but for fraud at her new job. Old habits die hard, I guess, I mutter. Everything okay? Alex asks, sliding into the seat across from me. I show him the article. Melissa's going to jail. How do you feel about that? I pause, considering. Relieved, I think, and a little sad, but mostly free. Just then, my phone buzzes with a text from Melissa. I'm so sorry, Catherine. Can we talk? I want to make things right. I stare at the message for a long moment before deleting it. Some bridges, once burned, should stay that way. You know, I say to Alex, I think I'm ready for that adventure we talked about. How does a road trip sound? Alex grins. Sounds perfect. Where to? I laugh, feeling lighter than I have in years. Anywhere. Everywhere. Let's just go and see where the road takes us. As we leave the cafe, I can't help but smile. My life isn't perfect. There's still therapy to work through, trust to rebuild with my parents, and a whole world to explore. But for the first time, it's truly mine. And that's all that matters. Ready? Alex asks, car keys in hand. I take a deep breath, savoring the moment. Ready. As we drive off, the future stretches out before us like an open road, and I can't wait to see where it leads. Catherine's journey to freedom and truth has come to an end. Now we turn to you. If you were in Catherine's shoes, would you ever forgive Melissa for her years of manipulation and deceit? Or is some betrayal too deep for reconciliation? Share your thoughts in the comments below.